Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. And in this video, we're going to be speaking about the West Indies A team. The CWI just released the squad that will be touring Nepal in the T20 series that they'll be having over there. So we're going to be reviewing the squad that was released. There are a few surprises in the squad, and also a few surprising exclusions, some of which the Cricket West Indies, provided explanation for. So we're going to be looking at the squad, and then also looking at, which of the players, have a realistic chance of, making the West Indies T20 World Cup squad. So just to begin with the squad, so the squad is as follows. So Roston Chase, he was named, as the captain of the team. We also see Alec Aitz, he is the vice captain. Then Fabian Allen, he's in the squad. Good to see Fabian Allen back in the team. Kadeem Alene, he's in the squad as well. Young player there. He's in the squad. Joshua Bishop, no surprise there that Joshua Bishop was included in the squad after his performance in the West Indies Championship. Then Casey Carty, he's in the squad. Johnson Charles, he's in the squad. Mark Dale, another surprise right there, but definitely happy to see CWI giving, some young players chances to make their mark in the T20 arena and give themselves an opportunity to possibly make the World Cup squad. Andre Fletcher, Matthew Ford, Obed McCoy, Gurakesh Moti, Kimo Paul, Ocean Thomas, and Hayden Wall. So that's the 15-man squad. Now that will be touring Nepal. So just to go over it again. So we have Roston Chase, Alec Aitz, Fabian Allen, Kadeem Alene, Joshua Bishop, Casey Carty, Johnson Charles, Mark Dale, Andre Fletcher, Matthew Ford, Obed McCoy, Gurakesh Moti, Kimo Paul, Ocean Thomas, and Hayden Walsh. That's the squad. The team will be coached by Floyd Reefer, with Raymond Griffiths being the assistant coach. So right away when I saw the squad viewers and subscribers, the first thing that jumped out to me, after looking at the 15, was where is Brandon King? I thought, because it was reported that Brandon King would have been, a part of this tour, but he did sustain an injury in the West Indies Championship, and he is still recovering from that injury. And CWI, put in the notes that was the reason Brandon King isn't included in this squad, because he's still trying to recover from the injury he sustained in the championship. Also the CWI felt it necessary to comment on Evan Lewis, that he was invited as well, but he declined the invitation to play in this series. And us as West Indies fans, we've been wondering where's Evan Lewis, or what's happening with Evan Lewis. And so it's good to that CWI provided a bit of clarity there. Still hoping that everything is good with Evan Lewis, because this from a fan's perspective, this is an opportunity, or was an opportunity for him to at least put his name in the hat to be selected for the T20 World Cup. We all know Evan Lewis is a very talented batsman, and when he's in form, he is very dangerous at the top of the innings. But for whatever reason, Evan Lewis declined the invitation according to Cricket West Indies. Still would have to hear Evan Lewis's side of the story, if it goes as Cricket West Indies says. But based on what they said, that's the reason why Evan Lewis is not in the team. So let me first start with the surprise inclusions. For me, an inclusion that is surprising, and as I'm sure other people as well, is Mark Dale. But it's good to see him in there, but it was surprised to see him included. Also, Kadeem Alene, he his inclusion as well was a bit surprising to me. But it's good to see, Cricket West Indies giving young players a chance, an opportunity. And it's kind of just letting them know that, you know, they are in their thoughts, the thoughts of the selectors, and it also acts as a form of motivation, you know, for them to keep, you know, working on their game, you know, and understand that, you know, if they continue to improve, you know, the selectors have eyes on them, and it's a possibility that they can be involved in the senior team. Fabian Allen, you know, I wouldn't say it was a surprise, you know, but Fabian Allen, you know, he's been off the scene for a while, you know, so it's definitely good to see Fabian Allen being included in the team. You know, Fabian Allen is very talented, both with the bat, with the ball, and he's a brilliant fielder. So that's definitely a good addition to the team. And you know, personally, I think it will be hard for Fabian Allen to make the team, make the T20 World Cup squad. You know, obviously we have Gudakesh Moti, who is in this squad, and Akil Hussein, as so both of them are left-handed bowlers. You know, so Fabian Allen making the team is unlikely, but nevertheless, he still gets an opportunity to wear West Indies colours and show what he can do. And you never know, you know, the team hasn't been completely selected yet. You know, even based on the words of the coach Darren Sammy, that he is still looking to fill a few spots in the team. So anything is possible, and any of these players, you know, if they perform up to the standard that's expected of Darren Sammy, then they might make the team. You know, just have to wait and see. But Roston Chase, you know, good to see him, you know, Cricket West Indies putting more responsibility on his shoulder, you know, and that it actually just goes to show the faith that they have in Roston Chase, you know, naming him the captain. And personally, I think Roston Chase spot in the T20 World Cup squad is already I think he has a spot in the T20 World Cup squad, you know, based on his performance in the most recent series against Australia. You know, he definitely, you know, in that series put his hand up as someone that should be included in the T20 World Cup squad, and he has been performing in the championship as well, scoring runs. So he's in good form, and whenever he plays the T20 format, he performs as well. So Roston Chase, you know, being the captain of this A team and based on his performance, will be in the T20 World Cup squad. Alec Aitz, you know, definitely good to see him in the squad as well. You know, he can be a prolific scorer and a fast scorer at times. You know, and honestly, it might be something where Cricket West Indies has Alec Aitz in their plans as someone that they might include in the T20 World Cup squad. Especially based on the struggles of Kyle Myers. You know, he has struggled in the past. I mean, he's been inconsistent. You know, there are times when he will score runs and there are times where he struggled. Most of the times he has struggled in recent past for the West Indies. And we see in the IPL where he isn't getting much game time either. So if Atenes can perform well in this series, you know, then who knows, you know, maybe the selectors will carry him as an opener in the T20 World Cup squad. You know, he's a left-hander also, just as Kyle Myers, you know, and that left-hand, right-hand combination is, I would say, more so in limited overs cricket. So whether it's T20 cricket, especially T20 cricket, you know, that left-hand, right-hand combination comes in more handy and is more valuable, you know, when it comes to throwing bowlers off, you know, their line and length. So if Atenes can have a good series against Nepal, then it's definitely he might definitely, you know, be included in the West Indies team. Johnson Charles is also someone that, you know, most people have him in their predicted World Cup squad, and but there are also a lot of people who have issues with Johnson Charles, you know, but in the Australia series he did make some runs, you know, so he has a chance of making the squad, and I would not be surprised if he is included in the T20 World Cup squad. Andre, then Casey Carty. I don't think Casey Carty will be in the T20 World Cup squad, you know, but I would definitely love to see him perform well in this series, you know, also. Then, of course, if we look at the bowlers, Gudakesh Moti, you know, I have Gudakesh Moti in my team, but I'm not the selector. But I think Gudakesh Moti will be, you know, in the T20 World Cup squad as well. You know, again, based on his performance, you know, in all formats of cricket, you know, whenever he puts on the West Indies colours, he has performed. even in T20 cricket, he's been economical and he's taken wickets. So Gudakesh Motie, you know, should definitely be a part of the T20 World Cup squad. Obed McCoy, you know, I'm very, very happy to see Obed McCoy, you know, back in our West Indies squad. You know, he's been struggling with injury, you know, over the past few years. You know, but when Obed McCoy is fit and playing for the West Indies and in form, he's a very tough customer to deal with for a batsman. You know, he has a lot of variety, and he troubles the batsmen of the opposing team. You know, so if Obed McCoy can come in this series and, you know, demonstrate that, you know, he is back to top form, you know, as we know that he can perform up to, then, you know, I would not be surprised if he gets a spot in the T20 World Cup team. Matty Ford, he was in the tour of Australia, but, you know, he didn't perform, you know, in my opinion, up to standard. So I would be very surprised. I don't think he has a chance of making the Western T20 World Cup team unless there's injury, you know, but it's definitely good to see that the selectors are sticking with him and still giving him an opportunity to represent in this A-team tour. So then my question as well is, does Brandon King not being a part of this squad, you know, does that affect his chances of being in the team? You know, I think Brandon King's spot was, I wouldn't say it's secure, you know, but I think Brandon King is in the team as an opener. That's if he can get fit, of course. You know, we don't know. Well, I don't know the extent of his injury or the seriousness of his injury. So whether or not he'll be able to recover in time to play in the T20 World Cup, we have to wait and see. But, you know, I was definitely looking forward to him being a part of this series to cement his spot in the T20 World Cup team, and the fact that he's not in the team now, that definitely it opens the door a bit for somebody else to take that opening position. So we have to wait and see. And then I would say of the players included in the squad, you know, those are some of the players that I would say have a realistic chance of making the T20 World Cup team. You know, so Ross and Chase, you know, Alec Aitz, Gudakesh Motie, of course, you know, Obed McCoy. And yeah, I think I said Jonathan Charles. Yes. So I think those are some of the players that have a realistic chance of making the T20 World Cup squad. Joshua Bishop, you know, he is the leading wicket taker in the West Indies Championship. You know, and so now we get an opportunity to see how his bowling, you know, stands up, you know, in the shorter format of the game, the T20 format, and see if he can not only take wickets in this format of the game, but also, you know, be economical as well, because that's also a big part of T20 cricket. But good to see Joshua Bishop in the team touring Nepal. So yeah, so Hayden Walsh, he's in the team, you know, him as well, you know, he was in and around the West Indies team for a while, and then, you know, the selectors moved on from him. So it's good to see that they are still including him in A-team tours, which just goes to show that, you know, they still have eyes on him and are still have faith in his bowling, and hopefully he can go to Nepal and perform well. Personally, I don't think Hayden Walsh will be included in the T20 World Cup squad. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm not the coach or any of the selectors. But it's definitely good to see Hayden Walsh in the team as well. So that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. Again, just going over the team that will tour Nepal. So we have Rastan Chase as the captain, Alec Aitz as the vice captain, Fabian Allen, Kadeem Aleni, Joshua Bishop, Casey Carty, Johnson Charles, Mark Dale, Andre Fletcher, Matthew Ford, Obed McCoy, Gudakesh Motie, Kimo Paul, O'Shane Thomas, and Hayden Walsh. That's the team that will tour Nepal. So thanks again for tuning in. Do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this team that is touring Nepal? Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.